The world is loud tonight. You stand still in the middle of it all, feeling the weight pressing on your chest. Cars rush by, conversations blur into meaningless noise, but inside your head, it's louder. Your thoughts spin. Did I do enough today? Why did I say that? What if tomorrow is worse? It's like a storm, and you can't find the calm center. You tell yourself to relax, but the more you try, the heavier it gets. Your chest feels tight, your mind, crowded. And no one around you sees it. You smile politely, you answer messages, you keep walking like nothing's wrong. But inside, it feels like you're drowning in thoughts no one can hear. Pause. Imagine you could press a button. One single button that clears it all away. The noise, the fear, the overthinking, and leaves you standing in silence. No guilt, no pressure, just peace. Would you press it? Because that's where this story begins. With someone, just like you, standing in that storm of thoughts, wishing they could start over. The life on autopilot. Morning comes. The alarm rings and you open your eyes, but it doesn't feel like a new day. It feels like a copy of yesterday. The same room, the same ceiling, the same heavy thoughts waiting before you even take your first breath. You drag yourself out of bed, check your phone, scroll through messages you don't really care about. You see the same news, the same arguments online, the same people posting pictures that make you feel like you're falling behind. Breakfast is quick. Not because you're in a hurry, but because you just want to get it over with. Another cup of coffee, another notification, another thought you can't stop thinking, and then the day begins. But it's not really living. It's autopilot. You go through the motions. Work, class, chores, tasks, each one blurs into the next. Sometimes you catch yourself staring out the window, just watching time slip by. The clock moves, but you don't. You feel like you're here, but not really here. Pause. This is the part no one talks about, the quiet suffering of going through life day after day with your mind somewhere else, thinking about what you should have done, what you should have said, or worrying about what could go wrong tomorrow. And it leaves you exhausted, not just tired, drained. Like you're living life on 5% battery, praying it doesn't shut off before the day is over. At night, you lie in bed, staring at the ceiling again, surrounded by half-read books, unfinished plans, and a brain that just won't stop. You want to scream, but instead you stay quiet, because tomorrow, you know, the cycle will repeat. And deep down, you start wondering. And then, it happens. It doesn't come with warning. No lightning bolt, no dramatic music, just a small moment that changes everything. The boy wakes up late. He's missed an important meeting, a test, a chance he had been preparing for. He runs through the house, heart pounding, shoes half-tied, but by the time he gets there, it's too late. He stops in the doorway, breath heavy, sweat dripping. The room is empty. The moment is gone. For a second, the world feels silent. The noise in his head, usually a deafening storm, suddenly becomes sharp and focused. You failed. Again. He sits down on the nearest bench, hands covering his face. The air feels heavy, almost too heavy to breathe. Time slows down. He thinks of every other time he was late, every mistake he ever made, every word he regrets saying, and they pile up one by one until it feels like he's drowning under them. He doesn't cry. He just sits there frozen. People walk past him, some glance, some don't notice at all. But inside, it feels like his whole world just stopped. In that stillness, a strange thing happens. He notices the sound of wind through the trees. He notices a bird landing near his foot, picking at the ground. The world hasn't stopped at all. Only him, and that thought hurts, because life seems to be moving on, with or without him. He leans back, staring up at the sky. It feels far away, as if it belongs to someone else, someone freer, someone lighter. For the first time, he wishes, not just casually but desperately, that he could clear his mind, that he could just stop feeling so heavy inside. And this is the moment where something begins to shift, not because he has the solution yet, but because he finally knows he can't keep living this way. He doesn't know how long he sits there, minutes, hours. The sun has shifted, painting the ground in soft gold, and then footsteps. An old man walks by carrying a small wooden box. He moves slowly, deliberately, as if time itself bends for him. The boy barely glances up until the man stops right in front of him. "You look heavy," the old man says gently. Not sad, not tired, heavy. The boy blinks. No one has ever said it like that before. The man sits down beside him without asking. For a moment, they sit in silence. Then the man opens the box. Inside are smooth, flat stones. He takes one out and places it in the boy's hand. "This is a thought," he says. "Every time you hold on to one, you put it in your pocket. Regrets, fears, what-ifs, you carry them all day. No wonder you feel so heavy." The boy stares at the stone in his palm. It's cool, simple, almost comforting. The man picks up a second stone and tosses it lightly into the grass. "See? The sky doesn't change. The world doesn't stop. You just let one thought go." The boy's chest feels tight again, but this time it's different. He closes his hand around the stone. "What if I can't let them go?" he whispers. The man smiles softly. "Then you start with one, just one, and tomorrow, another." Something inside the boy shifts, just a little. For the first time in a long time, he feels like maybe, just maybe, there's a way forward. When he looks up again, the old man is already walking away, leaving the box of stones behind. The boy holds the one stone close to his chest, as if it's the key to something he doesn't yet understand. What this chapter does, introduces the mentor figure, wise, calm, and symbolic, delivers a simple but powerful metaphor, stones as thoughts, the viewer can relate to, gives hope, creates a turning point that shifts the story from despair to possibility. That night, he sits in his room with the box of stones. The house is quiet, just the sound of crickets outside and the faint hum of a lamp on his desk. He picks up the first stone, the one the old man gave him, and holds it in his palm. He thinks of the worst memory he has, the one that haunts him at night, and he whispers to himself, "This is just a stone." He places it on the windowsill. A tiny, almost invisible weight lifts from his chest. The next day, he tries again. A thought about something embarrassing he said years ago. He holds it tight, then gently sets it aside. But not every attempt works. Some days, he picks up a stone but can't let it go. He just stares at it until tears blur his vision. Some days, he shoves them back into the box, stacking them higher, feeling the weight grow again. It isn't easy. He starts writing his thoughts in a notebook, each page for one stone. At first, it's messy, almost angry scribbles. But after a few days, the words soften. It feels like he's slowly emptying his pockets. And then, a small victory. One morning, he wakes up and notices something. The room feels lighter. The sunlight through the curtains feels softer, warmer. The sound of birds doesn't annoy him. It comforts him. He realizes he's been breathing differently, slower, deeper. For the first time, he feels like he's not being chased by his thoughts. He's still carrying some of them, yes, but now they don't crush him. He looks at the box of stones on his desk. It's still half full. But instead of despair, he feels something new, patience. He knows this will take time, but he's no longer afraid of the work it takes. Morning comes. Soft golden light spills across the floor. The boy lies awake, not because his mind is racing, but because it's quiet. He sits up slowly, listening to the world around him. The creak of the wooden floor, the rustle of leaves outside the window. Even his own breathing sounds different. Steady, calm, live. He walks over to the box of stones. It's still there, half full, but now it doesn't scare him. He takes one stone, holds it for a moment, and smiles. Then he opens the window. The morning air is cool against his skin. He lets the stone fall into the garden below. It lands softly in the grass, and he feels it. That quiet inside, not empty, but clear, like a lake without ripples, like a sky after the storm. For the first time in a long time, he doesn't feel behind. He doesn't feel broken. He just feels here. He steps outside, barefoot on the grass. The world feels brand new, as if someone pressed that invisible reset button he always wished for. He takes a deep breath, and for once, he doesn't rush to think about the next thing or the next problem. He just breathes, and in that moment he understands the thoughts will always come and go. But behind them, there's a space that is always his, a place that no fear, no regret, no worry can touch. And that space feels like freedom. Sometimes life feels like one long storm. Thoughts whirl like heavy clouds, hiding the sun. You forget what a clear sky even looks like. But here's the truth. The sky was never gone. It was always there, waiting behind the clouds. Your thoughts are just passing weather. They come, they go, they shift and change. But the sky, your mind's true self, stays vast, calm, unshaken. When you learn to see thoughts this way, you stop fighting them. You stop drowning in them. You simply let them pass. Try this right now. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Imagine each thought as a small stone in your hand. Feel its weight. Then let it drop. Watch it roll away in your mind's eye, and notice how your chest feels a little lighter. You don't have to let go of everything all at once. Just one thought today, another tomorrow. Step by step, you'll feel yourself rise. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, you'll look up and realize your sky has been blue all along. Take a moment right now. Breathe in slowly. Feel the air filling your lungs. And as you breathe out, let one thought go. Just one. That's where it starts. That's where your reset begins. If this story spoke to you, if it felt like a mirror to your own mind, don't keep it inside. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me which stone you're letting go of today. You never know who might read your words and find hope because of them. And if you want more stories like this, more reminders that you're not alone, more ways to clear your mind and start fresh, subscribe to this channel. Let's walk this path together, because your sky was always blue. It's time the world saw it too.